character read, because like they say like don't do impressions because they'll just, you know, get whoever to really do it if they really wanted to. They'll get
one thing I'll add to it, they typically break it down by category. So, for example, like you'll have an animation reel, you'll have a commercial reel, you'll have a narration reel, you'll have all the different categories of things that you want to do, promo, that kind of thing. That's where you'll change it up, and there's different styles that you can play into. But for the most part, it's a sample of what you do in that style.
Like if you want to do cartoons, animation reel, and then like more natural things, you'll want the interactive reel. You know, most like grounded reads go into an interactive reel, and then if you want to do the silly fun stuff, that's more the animation reel.
Courage the Cowardly Dog is a very different style than, let's say, like a Mass Effect or a Halo or something like that. So that's why you'll have different reels for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Question, Sora. You're doing great, by the way.
What was his name?
Give it up for Sora, guys. They've been killing it at this con. Like, legitimate. That's not even sarcasm. Legitimate.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
They deserve a raise.
Honestly and truly, I couldn't do it without my crew. Finn, Nate, and
Yay!
There's no longer a Q&A. This is just an intervention and a support group now.
Support group.
Right.
All the hugs.
Nate, Nate, do you have you got one? You got a good one?
I do. I have one from the chat from Raven Team Leader who asks, "What's everyone's favorite Pokemon?"
Ooh.
Oh, wait.
Well,
I can do this.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Are you familiar with the show?
Wait. Did it work?
Oh!
Yeah!
This is my favorite. It's Piplup. I'm so small now. Because I voice Piplup.
Cute.
And Piplup's my favorite because I voice him.
Hey, that's So for me, it's Charizard's on the list, Lucario, and here's a surprise: Mewtwo, obviously because of the movie. Eevee has moved up the list for obvious reasons, but yeah, one of my friends is an Eevee, so I'm a very big fan of Eevee. But yeah, I got to play Charizard in Horizons, and he was also one of my favorites. So it's kind of like a mini dream come true. So I guess I'm the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? Favorite Pokemon?
Eevee. Mine's Eevee for sure.
Yeah, Eevee's another.
Sure.
Yeah.
Eevee's
Same
a
here.
good one. I love Eevee.
Eevee's
Eevee's
a
really
very
cool
one.
because it can like change into all different kinds of Eevees, which is neat.
Yeah, it's so
Eevee's just the
versatile.
base
Unless
form.
you're
There are
stuck
so
at
many
level 1
options
forever,
for
and
where
then you don't
can
get to evolve. Yeah.
I never evolved
Unless
my
you can't
It'd be
Eevee.
awful to be stuck at level 1. Wouldn't that be awful? You just never evolve.
I mean, some people just like Pikachu's never.
It'd be like a Pidgey. It'd be the Pidgey.
Yeah.
They just never evolve.
I was scared that my Pokemon were gonna become a rude like Charizard was in the anime, so I never evolved my Eevee because I was scared my Eevee was going to hate me.
No, Eevee will never hate you unless you're me.
All right.
Let's see here. Oh, here's one for Michelle. How was the experience working with the makers of Indigo League, and were any of the Pokemon from Jesse's team ones that you really, really liked? P.S. Love all of you guys.
Which one was the Indigo League? Because I started working on Pokemon at season 9, the Battle Frontier. So, that's when I started.
Indigo League one of the earlier. I think
If Indigo's before that, that's not me. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
All right, here's a follow-up question. What's your favorite team of Pokemon since you've been doing it? Like do you have a particular this iteration when I had these guys?
Well, I liked interacting with Team Skull. Like that was fun.
Oh, they're the best.
They were wild. Was that Sun and Moon? Wait, I'm trying to remember where Team Skull was because they did all the crazy. I don't have a VR headset. I'm sorry. I'm on a desktop, so I can't move my arms or anything. But they were always like doing these wild, like crazy moves. yeah, like that. Yeah, that's what they were. They were fun.
Team Skull was amazing.
I think they were better than the other ones because they were so funny. The other ones were too serious. I like the comic relief characters.
They were also like just a bunch of just goober dorks that like just kind of were like, hey, let's all be goober dorks together. And also start fights with random children.
I like
All right,
them.
I got a question
Nate,
for
what you got?
all of you guys.
All of us.
Gonna retexture the question slightly so it fits for all of you guys. How did you what equipment do you guys start with as far as your voice acting career for EQ chain, your microphone that you use, your anything that you guys use to start up to get to the level that you are able to record professionally?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You want to start, Mike?
Sure, I'll start with it. So as far as everything goes, I started with one of those crappy desktop mics that you just plug in with the pink cable. But, aside from that, when it comes to actually wanting to get into voiceover a little more seriously, I just had an Audio Technica AT2020. That's a generally good option if you're just
That's a very good mic.
If you want to start out with like I don't recommend starting off with like an XLR equipment like kind of chain because it's so expensive. But if you can afford it, I say do it because it's just going to grow with you if you go on. So it doesn't hurt. If you know you want to do it, I say go for that. But my starter setup was like an AT2020, a Scarlett 2i2, which I think most people don't recommend Scarletts these days. I don't know if like that's because
I still use them. They're good.
They're fine, but yeah, I like the
I'm
Scarlett.
using a CM25.
There you go.
Gotcha. Yeah, general, AT2020, Scarlett 2i2, basic. I used a GLS XLR cable, which was perfectly fine for years. Any pop filter really will get the job done at the start. If you want to get a luxury, expensive one, if you can afford it, sure, get yourself a Stedman. But yeah, no, that's a pretty basic setup that you could start with. That's what I started with.
Fantastic.
No particular EQ chain. I just went into Reaper and recorded straight from there.
Michelle?
Yeah, that's funny. That was mine too. I had an AT2020.
Oh, good.
When I started. But yeah,
Nice.
Scarlett's good for starting out. Like I mean now I don't use a Scarlett, but because I know they get really expensive. Like the equipment is like super expensive, and I mean like during COVID and stuff we had to do everything remote, so it's like I already had kind of like a whisper room and a home studio set up because I was doing like audiobooks at home, so. I needed something to do at home, so that's why I was contacting studios. It's like, wait, I got a setup, I can do work. It was like all the studios shut down, and I didn't work for like 8 weeks, and I was just like calling everybody I could.
COVID changed everything.
It was crazy.
Scarlett
It's
mics
good for
are really
like,
expensive,
all of
but
us.
you know it's not
Yeah.
expensive. Going to Guitar Center and getting it third hand for like $20.
Hey, you get used.
That's true.
No, but
Yeah.
that's 50.
I love Guitar Center.
Yeah. In a pinch, you can always get something from there.
Yeah. All right, I'll be a little mic nerdy since you asked about audio chains. So I started off on a Samson CO1U. It was a USB mic, and it served me very well, and it was my travel mic even after I got rid of it. What I currently use in the booth, so I have an actual whisper room, which is like a giant studio in your house. It's crazy. But I have a U87 Neumann, so that's the fancy one that Mike was talking about if you want to splurge. So that's what I record all the auditions on. I'm also a streamer, and for that I use a Shure SM7B, and I also have a
that's what I have,
Sennheiser
yeah.
416, which is a shotgun mic. And then I normally don't process the auditions because they want those as clean as possible. Sometimes I'll EQ and just make it tidy up, but for the most part, they want that stuff dry. When I'm streaming, though, I use a lot of plugins on an Apollo Twin USB. I have an Avalon 737 SP preamp plugin that I use. Particularly with the Shure, it's a very low-end, gain-hungry microphone, so I like to take out some of the lower frequencies, like around 250, 300, and bump up the high range of the mic, because otherwise you sound like it's got a broadcast sound, and it's going to be a very bassy voice kind of mic to begin with. But I like to bring up those lows, the mid-lows and the highs. So that's typically what I'm EQing out, is that like 350 to 250 range, somewhere in there, and then I'll bump to higher frequencies.
Can I
the
make a
exact
comment,
plug-in
actually?
chain I use.
On the Samson, because it's so funny the difference between like male and female voices and microphones, because I tried that one time. I sounded horrible on it, I try to. I've tried like so many different microphones. I have a Neumann TLM 103 right now because it's like everyone's like, you have to get this if you're
That's what
working
I
from
got,
home.
too.
Like
It's a good
during
mic.
COVID, I got that, and it's so weird that like because like I don't have a deep bassy voice and like it's different. It's weird how different microphones sound with different people, especially if you're like super bassy or baritone, or if you got like a super high voice. You know, if you're like high girly girl voice. It's so I had to test out a lot of different microphones to find like what worked. So
Yeah. I would recommend the one you guys started on. They actually have a USB version of the AT2020. I think that's one of the best USB mics you can get is the AT2020 USB
Yeah.
version.
It's good.
Because it's good entry. You don't need a preamp.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
You go on with your thing first.
No, I'm done. It's your turn.
Oh, okay, sure. Sorry, I was gonna say because you're on the topic of the Samson CO1U. Another mic I had was the Samson Meteor mic, which is like a really small, like very.
I've seen
portable
those before. I've never
USB
used them, but I've
Samson
seen
mic.
them.
They're pretty
Yeah.
good. They're actually pretty
Yeah.
decent. And, like you can get them on Amazon for like $40, and if you can, that's
not bad.
honestly not a
Dang.
that's not a bad way to start. Like if you are just
No.
someone doing it as a hobby, not a terrible way to start, honestly.
Especially if you're,
So-
even if you're gaming. Like I wanted a good mic when I gamed because if you I can't understand what you're calling out, especially like in a Halo match. But what did you say? It's like,
No, well, for anybody that's watched Bosco's streams, that's actually normal. That's just the rage moment of me being.
I have a lot of. We're lassoing the Halos. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to call out my friends that are watching. Artsy Hartsy, Level 1 Eevee, and my friend Xanalis Grim. The four of us have been trying to lasso all the Halos. So there's a lot of rage. And you want that picked up on your microphone. And you want it to be clear so that when we're
Exactly,
screaming
yeah.
at each other, bloody murder, we all understand the commands and what's going on.
Fantastic.
So, as far as
Yeah.
like microphones are concerned, I did also hear that how like where the mic is placed whenever you're recording also really matters. Like if you want to get like more like treble, then you have it a little bit above your head, and then if you want like more bass, then you usually like anchor it a little bit lower.
Yeah, it's also called the proximity effect. So how close you are to the microphones, particularly with the Shure.
Okay.
Yeah, the Shure is very
Okay.
big. If you're close to the Shure, you're going to get a lot of bassiness. If you pull it away, they won't even be able to hear you.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, I have a follow-up question. Oh wait,
Sorry,
no,
I
it's your
just
turn.
got hard. That was. I had a
No,
moment.
That was a mini
that
question.
was
That doesn't
wonderful.
count.
Like
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like hobbyists and like well versed really kind of got something from that.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to properly EQ my voice too, because that's not what we normally do as actors. We have engineers for that.
Right,
that
the
study
engineers do
stuff.
that.
Yeah, that's what
A lot
Yeah,
of
you're
times
supposed
they
to
don't
try to-
want us to send anything with any compression or
They
anything.
don't-
They just
yeah.
want it completely raw.
But I wanted to learn for streaming, so I'm trying to learn and put together a good vocal chain. So right now I just have a limiter, a preamp, and I think that's it.
The only thing that I've been
Fantastic.
told
Thank
is
you.
that as soon like have it until it hit like peaks in the yellow, and then just hard limit it there.
You can. I'd say if you're going to use a limiter, I think like
Sounds a little
6
tough.
decibels is a good spot for it. Negative
Okay.
6.
Yeah.
Give a little bit
So,
of headroom. Sorry.
One of
Question.
well, no, that was wonderful. That was wonderful.
No, it's wonderful.
Well, one of the questions were from the Discord was, what is your favorite blooper or line that got cut?
Oh God.
Favorite line that got cut? Oh boy. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. When I mess up, I like swear a lot, which just sounds funny because I'll swear like in the
That
character.
counts.
I don't have a blooper. I have an intentionally stupid audition that I did. So I am the black mage in Maple Story, and when they were casting
Wait,
that,
no
the
way.
lines, the lines were very. What? Do you play Maple Story?
Yes. I also like
Okay,
we've
well, then
been
you
playing
kick my
on a
butt plenty.
private server for months.
Yeah, okay, so then, yeah, I'm the black and the white mage. But the black mage, specifically, when I auditioned for it, there was one line. There were 3 yells. It was, erg, arg, and rah! So, and I have to give my friend Deb credit for this. I did and I did R. And then because it was like 10 years ago, the last take was Ermagerd! And that's why they cast me, is because I said Ermagerd on the audition. And I didn't expect it to be a big character because there were no audition lines, and it turned out to be the main bad guy. And they were just like, "Yeah, you made us
That's
laugh, so we booked
great.
you."
You know,
So I got booked because I said, "Oh my god."
I've heard so many stories of like so many identical like audition sheets, and then it's like, I can make chimichangas. It's like this person can cook. Just put if you have a talent, put it on your resumes. Trust me.
Oh man. I don't know. For me, I'm gonna need a second to think about it. I still don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to rack my brain.
Literally any of the stuff we did during the Lackadaisy recording that they're not going to put in this.
He's in
They're so fun. You got
The
I don't even know if
meows.
we're allowed to say like some of the specific things, but like God, dude, Bill was so funny. Bill was absolutely
He
like
was.
a riot during those. Oh my God. There's a line in Murder Drones episode 7 that I don't think I can share that was cut. That was really funny.
Oh,
But in
You're like,
I'm like,
this is hysterical, guys. If
oh.
I could tell you, you'd really laugh. I swear.
maybe when the show's over, maybe after the
Yeah, there
episode
you go.
8 ends, because that's the end of the
In
season.
private,
Maybe
shh.
I can say that. I don't know.
Private call afterwards. Anyway, so here's a line.
Yeah. After this is all over, I'll tell you what it is. Nah, I won't.
No, just. I'm still just picturing.
Nine.
Joke.
There was an old bit where it was a whole bunch of Thundercats like outtakes where they just like kept all the blooper reels, and that's like exactly what I'm thinking about Nessie whenever like just very very aggressively like messing up lines.
I know. It's hard for me to think too because when I mess up lines, I'll usually just go blah, 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 or I'll just
That's
swear.
what I do too. Yeah, I just go.
Like, oh my God, F this! Come on. You know, like what David Tennant does all the time in like Good Omens. You know.
All right, the next question, and also sidebar. I adore David Tennant so much.
I love it. Have you seen all of Good
Yeah, he's
Omens?
pretty
It's
good.
so good.
Yes.
I want season 3. I want season 3. Season 3 so bad.
All right, I got a question from the Discord. It's going to be a combination of a couple people and a couple of different questions mixed into one. If you guys could give advice to your earlier selves with the knowledge that you have now, what's some knowledge that you've gained what's some knowledge now that you would have given to yourself starting into voice acting?
Don't be friends
That's
with
such a
Michael.
good question. Wait, what'd you say? I missed that.
Trust Bosco.
Oh,
There you go,
don't
that is
trust
a good
Bosco.
one.
Don't be friends with Mike.
Yeah, don't be friends with Michael.
Now, do you have genuine advice?
Who says I wasn't being genuine?
Listen, I trust you, Bosco.
I'm capable of hate.
I'm capable of trusting someone that should not be trusted.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
Michelle, anytime you want to end this, it's all you.
This
Cycling.
No, I
maniacy.
love this. This is great.
Dance, my puppets, dance.
But yeah, Michelle, do you want to start off?
I hate to say, like, I don't know. The first thing that pops into my mind is move. Like, I hate to say that, but like, so many studios want you to be in studio instead of remote work. Like, it's so tough because like, it's hard for people to move, and especially now, moving is very expensive.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I guess maybe back in the day, if I could have moved, I probably would have. I don't know. It's a tough call. Because I feel like
Have a backup plan.
have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan with whatever you're doing.
Like in my time working like studio gigs, like my boss basically like straight up was like, because she was a union rep, She's like, okay, so here's what you do. You make enough money during your day job and this to have 6 months of a barrier, and then you start working actual union gigs, because it will be feast or famine for months at a time.
Yeah.
The best piece of advice I could have given my old self is, because I used to be a mascot, because I was Scooby-Doo at Universal, so I always joked that I was a professional furry for like a couple years.
Oh, that's so cute.
I would have told my old self,
That answers that
it's
question.
okay, all of this sweating and dying in the sun is going to be worth it. You're going to be okay. Just keep going. Because there were times where it was like, why am I out here doing this? Dying alive in a carpet with kids trying to rip my head off. And dads who won't respect my tail. Like, just, it was a lot.
It's for the passion, it's for the passion, it's for the passion.
You laugh. You ever had somebody just try to tug your tail when you're trying to pose for a picture? No, they're told not to.
that's awful.
It's annoying. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
How many of them were grown adults
Yeah.
that did it too? Like, I understand if a kid does it. How many of them were grown adults?
Dude, there was one dude who clearly had way too much to drink that put me in a headlock and tried to take the head off.
Oh my god.
And they were gonna like get him off me.
What?
Yeah, he was just like, "Hey, Scooby, how you doing?" And then like yanked, and I was like, hi, no, that's attached, thanks."
Like,
That's
dude,
my
there's
head.
a person in there.
Yeah.
Do they think
Meanwhile,
it's like
I'm not allowed to
very
make a sound, so I just have to be like, "Okay."
Wow.
Hey, stop pulling my hair.
I couldn't even do
My
that.
advice
They
would
don't
basically
allow
be,
it.
like, my advice for myself, honestly, it's a little different from these two. I would just say not to like rush into things, because things are gonna go at the pace they go. And also, honestly, for myself, like I kind of look at everything that has happened as things that just built up to where I am today, and I'm relatively happy with where I am today. I wouldn't really change any of it. We've all got experiences in life that sure we regret, we wish were done differently, but also it made us who we are today. So I don't, in that sense, while I do have some regrets, I think that it was overall for the better, because it happened, because things ended up the way they did.
Yeah, don't compare your B-roll to somebody else's highlight reel on Twitter, because you're not seeing the struggle that
Exactly.
they're going through. So don't compare your journey to somebody else. That's good advice.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's very good advice.
Everybody evolves at different levels.
Unless you're a level 1 EV.
Like Pokemon.
I was trying to find like a good one, but the good one was already answered, and it was, when did you become a furry, or are you a furry? And Bosco already answered it by
There you go.
being Scooby-Doo. at
Yeah, I was a
Universal.
mascot, so I got paid to be one.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right.
I wanted to be like when I was like 16 and I worked at Chuck E. Cheese, and I wanted to be one of the mascots. I wanted to be one like Chucky or one of the group, but I was too tall. I'm like I grew really fast, and I'm like 5'8", and you had to be 5'4", I think it was. And they're like, you can't fit in the costume, you're too tall. So I had to work the front register, which I hated. So
Yeah.
I had the opposite problem with Scooby. I think the Scooby height maximum was 5'8", so I was too tall. When they took my height for it, I intentionally tried to get off the wall so that I was slightly
Just like-
below.
oh,
Shift
that's
down a little
smart.
And then when I put the head on, they were like, "Okay, how's your vision?" And I knew I was too tall, so I knew I was gonna have to adjust the head. I was like, "Yeah, I see perfectly fine. Trust me. Everything's great."
Boom, right,
So I
right
guess
into
I would
a
have to
wall
make it, because all the heads were
immediately.
different sizes anyway, so it ended up fitting me when I got a different head. Things you can only say as a mascot.
All right.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah.
but, like, we'll get into like one other like really good question, but I know that you were getting close on time. I want to give you a chance to plug some of your stuff, amp yourself up, promo yourself.
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you that don't know what I do, obviously I'm a voice actor. You guys know all that stuff. Charizard in Pokemon Horizons. Check out the new series. It's awesome. Check out Hell of a Boss. For those of you that saw the latest episode, obviously Stryker doesn't talk in it, but I told y'all you weren't ready. And then I'm also a streamer, so if you want to come by and say hi to me in person, kind of, you could totally do that. Twitch.tv/EdwardBosco on Tuesdays. That's Halo Nights that I was telling all you guys about. Wednesday, I play D&D on The Unexpectables. You guys should check that out. Twitch.tv/The Unexpectables. It's awesome. We're like 70 episodes in. We have a whole first campaign you can listen to. Thursday, tonight, I'm going to be streaming Throwback Thursday. We're playing Bust a Move on the PlayStation. Friday, I do a wrestling stream. On Saturday, I play Yakuza with my friend Distortion Devil, twitch.tv/Distortion Devil. And we play Baldur's Gate on that Unexpectables channel, so you should check that out. And then on Monday, I also do Mass Effect and more D&D. So that's my whole streaming schedule. You can come find me. That's my shtick. And I'm sticking to it.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice. And then I'm going to exit stage left like Snagglepuss, because they need to talk more and I need to go work. So I'm going to go make funny sounds.
All right.
Hello,
Well,
Michael.
making the
Bye-bye.
funny sounds.
All right, thank you
Bye.
so much for joining.
Michelle, it was
we'll
nice
try
to
make
kind of meet you.
sure-
But yeah, it was nice talking to you.
Nice.
Hopefully
Laura,
we
I'm
can
going to
meet
give you a
IRL.
headbutt. There we go.
We'll try to make sure that
Good to see you. That's the
a
best I
couple
can
of
hug.
these goobers are
Yeah.
around the event.
Bye, guys.
If you see
Sorry, I'm
them,
going to go work, but I'll see you around during the convention.
Catch you later.
Here, I'll move here. That way we've got a little more space.
Come on, a scoop.
One more clap for Bosco for being the
Yay!
best.
Everyone say bye, Bosco.
You can't hear it, but I'm physically clapping, kind of.
Just snaps.
Snaps.
Yep.
You got a good one?
We got one. I got one. So
right,
as far as
what do we
voice
got?
acting is concerned, in your voice acting journey, what has been the most memorable moment to you in your journey thus far?
Conventions
Whether
are
it be a
always the most
role
memorable for
or...
me.
Yeah.
Like conventions and just seeing that people actually care about the stuff that we do and that we've resonated with them is genuinely like I think that's the universal thing for most actors that do conventions is just like you meet fans and you get to hear their stories and how you've impacted them, and it's like you see people that literally say they've traveled across the country to go to this convention to see you, and you're like, what the hell? You
Yeah.
spent that much money just to see me? What? And it's like you're just kind of like honored by that, and just the fact that people care so much. It's just really cool and really awesome and really like humbling.
For sure.
I don't know if you have anything
It's
different.
definitely the
I
fan.
know
No, I
that's
totally
something-
agree.
Yeah.
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 Definitely the fans. Because, like, if it weren't for them, like, we wouldn't be here, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I always tell them that at conventions because they're like, oh, thank you so much for the... And I'm like, it's all you. If you weren't here, you know, I wouldn't be here if you didn't support us. So I love seeing the fans at conventions. It's so much fun. And like, I feel bad when like I've seen like some of them have cried before, and like I feel bad. Or like I like when some people come up and it's like, you know, this such and such show or video game or whatever helped me get through a really rough time in my life because, you know, for this or that reason, whatever reason, and like they'll start to get upset or cry, and I'm like, can I give you a hug? Is that okay? You know?
And then they're just like,
sure. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, makeup, don't cry, makeup, don't cry. I don't want to like ruin my makeup. But yeah, those are like
Why didn't
really
I pick-
special moments.
why didn't I pick waterproof mascara today? Oh,
Right, I know.
no.
Yeah, it's all the fans.
Yeah. They're all wonderful.
All right, so one last super quick one, and then we'll do some plugs. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? The Princess Bride. I love The Princess Bride. It's my favorite
Ooh,
movie.
Yes.
Mine
Very
is
good.
stupid. It's pure nostalgia. It's the first Toy Story. It's just I think
Aw.
that's one of the first
Very
movies I ever
good.
saw growing up. It stuck with me. It's a really fun movie. It's not the best Pixar movie. I say Monsters Inc. is their best movie. That's like honestly, I think it's a better movie than either of those. But Toy Story is just a movie I really loved growing up. So I think it's just something that I'm always gonna love a lot.
Aw.
I think it's the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like the
Pure
atmosphere
nostalgia.
feels like it feels lived in, like through and through.
Yeah.
Nate, what's your favorite movie?
Honestly, this is a little bit of a, well, it is a Hayao Miyazaki movie. It's It's one about little micros. What's it? The secret world of Ariete.
The secret.
Oh,
Secret
that's a
Life of
really
Ariete.
cute one.
It's a very
Secret
cute.
World of
I
Ariete,
always
that's
used to
it,
like
yeah.
borrowers, so that's why I have a little needle sword.
My
so
favorite
cute.
Ghibli movie is Castle in the Sky. That one is really fun. I love the aesthetic
That's
of that
very
one
good.
too.
That one was
Yeah.
good. I like Howl's Moving Castle. I don't know.
Oh, that's everyone's
the
favorite.
music.
It's really
I was
good.
about to say like it.
I'm basic.
And there's one really good reason why, and it's in the title. And it's not the moving castle; it's the other part.
Exactly.
It's Christian Bale.
I guess I'll throw mine in there. The first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's one of my favorites. I have many favorites, but that and the Lord of the Rings movies just have like that. It's like you listen to the soundtrack and it feels like you're already somewhere else. Like it feels like a grand adventure that you're already on. There's just something about those motifs.
You hear that, you want to just start like humming it, you know?
Oh, for sure. Instant brainworm.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're getting close to our timer. I see it flash. Whoever's in the control booth, I see it flashing. I love you, control booth. Let's go ahead and get some promotional stuff. Michelle, I heard that you do some of the Twitch streaming.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/Michelle Nuts. I'm usually on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, unless I'm doing a convention. Right now I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Is so good.
Yeah.
I was a
just beat
huge
that game
fan.
a few weeks ago. It's so good.
It's amazing.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan of the
I love
original.
everything they've done with it.
Yeah, it's all top notch. Just like the music, the voiceover, the sound effects, the gameplay is
How
just.
far are you
know-
right now into the game?
I don't know. Would this be a spoiler? Like I'm
mean,
past,
kinda
a little
depends.
past, like the Dine, like Barrett and Dine.
Oh, okay, dude, you're at like one of my favorite parts of the game. Yeah.
I cried so much.
I know, me too.
It was so sad. That's always
Yeah.
good when like a video game can make you cry, like they're doing their job.
Exactly. I love how wacky that game is too. Like they really embrace just how wacky it can. Like it's almost like Yakuza. If you've ever played the Yakuza games.
It's
I never played
unapologetically
the
fun.
Yakuza games, but they look cool. I've
They're
seen like
good.
the Friday night thing where they're dancing or whatever.
Yeah,
the Friday
no.
night
Like,
da-da-da-da-da.
dude, there's so much just silly stuff in Rebirth that I'm like, I'm so glad they're embracing it. It's just really fun.
I know it gets like really like dark and serious and sad, and then it's like, you know, let's go to a carnival. It's wild.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's go chocobo racing, guys.
Right, let's go to the chocobos. I love the chocobos. They're so
Yeah.
cute.
Me too.
So what stuff that do you got going on? What can we rep for you, Michael?
For me, I sometimes stream on Twitch, but it's so like non-regular that I don't know. But if you do want to follow me on Twitch, and if I ever stream again, which I probably will at some point, it is twitch.tv/KovoxVG. I'm Kovox on like every social media, so you can just find me there. And yeah, that's about it.
I have to go follow you and Ed because I don't think I'm following Ed, so I have to go follow both of you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm following you.
But
either. I'll have to
Bosco's,
find you.
Bosco's stuff on the
Actually, it's Michelle
regular is
Knotts.
it's a freaking laugh riot. It really is.
I've never seen one of his streams. I have to go check it out. Yeah. I do watch
All
Nate
right.
though. I'm following Nate on Twitch.
I think Nate
Is Nate
crashed.
frozen?
Nate crashed.
Did
All
Nate crash? Oh, no.
Nate crashed. Well, we're also getting the
Nate.
pools to wrap up. Y'all. There he goes.
He's just like,
Y'all-
oh.
Thank y'all so much for coming out and hanging out
course.
for this little panel.
Thank you, Sora.
We also have coming up a little bit later on during the events, we have the Hollywood Squares. and I don't think it'll be too much to ask if we can get you in as well.
What?
figure it out.
Yeah. What time is that? Today or tomorrow or when?
It's later on during the weekend.
It's
Oh,
tomorrow.
okay, okay.
And it's,
Yeah,
I believe it's tomorrow at 6 p.m. or no, 8 p.m. Pacific. So that's 11. So that's later for you, I think.
It's a later one.
Okay,
Oh.
okay.
Thank you, Control Booth. All right, they're actually kicking me out of the stage. Y'all, thank you again so much for coming out for this. We have
Yay,
way
thank
more
you.
stuff coming up for y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the convention, and we'll